digital literacy and how we can hold the government to account. In Nigeria, a significant portion of the population, estimated at 31%, is illiterate, with millions of children out of school, posing challenges to economic stability and development and the understanding of politics. In northern Nigeria, the impact of out-of-school children has been alarming.
Now, to ensure the uneducated understand the latest happenings within each community, our next guest has taken the bull by the horns to break down critical stories and news using comic yet detailed explainers in Hausa-language. His videos have continued to demand accountability while exposing the greed and corruption of leaders in power. We will introduce our guest, Dr. Bello Galadanchi, after this break.
Mamakin zargin da sanata Natasha take wa Akpabio ya daga hannu. Maga daga hannu manga ko ga kana. Kai wai yanzu kai kake mamakin mutumin nan wanda sanda jama'a suke fama da yunwa da talauci za shi zanga-zanga ya ce ku je ku ta zanga-zanga mu muna gida muna cin abinci? Ko wannan mutumin ne ka manta sanda ana cikin talauci an ƙara farashin komai mutane suna shan wahala amma yayi subtar baki ya dauka babu kyamara yake cewa wai kowanne sanata dan majalisa ya je ya duba cikin account ɗinsa an tura masa da ƴan kuɗaɗen addu'a abinda karya doka ne ba kai mamakin waɗannan ba shi ne aka ringa mamakin dan an ce gashi irin abin da yake kokarin yi da sanata Natasha. Shugaban kasan da aka zaba ba shi da hurumin dakatar da gwamnan da aka zaba. Kamar mai gidan da kake haya ne saka maka matarka bayan ba shi aura maka ita ba. Tulumbu ya dakatar da gwamnan jihar Rivers Figura wanda kuma yake takaddama da na hannun daman sa wato wuke. Wannan abu ne da ya kamata mu mai da hankali akai saboda zai iya dawowa ya zo shafin mu yadda ba ma tunani. Babu wata dokar ko ta kwana ko da ka ta ɓaci a Najeriya wanda ya ba wa shugaban kasa karfi da hurumin dakatar da gwamnan da jama'arsa suka zaba har ma da mataimakinsa da kuma 'yan majalisar jiha. Saboda haka wannan yana nufin abubuwa guda uku.
You're welcome back. Now, let's introduce Dr. Bello Galadanchi to you. Good morning, Dr. Galadanchi, and thanks for joining us on Breakfast Central.
Good morning. Here it's 3:25. It's afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well.
I think I saw the last video we just played was very funny, and particularly the analogy you said when you said a president cannot suspend a governor. It's like your landlord divorcing your wife for you. There's so many issues that you've shared your thoughts on and shared your commentary on. And the one thing that stands out is the confidence with which you have used to constantly speak against ills in the society, call out bad government and governance. What is it that drives you to constantly do what you do, you know, without fear, without favor? Just being able to constantly hold the government to account in the way that you do?
That's a difficult question. You know, I've been to more than 20 countries and having no other home like Nigeria, it's painful to see our country, which is basically the greatest in Africa, underdeveloped, with the most out-of-school children in the world, with an economy that depends mostly on imports, with an agricultural sector that can do really well, but it's almost non-existent. There's so much wrong with Nigeria, and it all comes down to leadership and education. So seeing that our children and grandchildren do not have any other place other than Nigeria, and the education that we are enjoying today was basically put together by people who are much older than us and who don't have much to gain from it other than give us this privilege. So for our children and grandchildren, it's what we do today is what will really determine of, you know, what kind of future they're going to have and the lives that they're going to live. So that's my motivation.
Now, you've personally funded the borehole project in Katsina State, and you've called out the government for failing to provide infrastructure. What was that experience like, and did you get any feedback from the government?
Yes, I did. First of all, the experience, it's not so much different from what we usually do here, except, seeing them screaming and dancing. That was quite touching because every day we take having water for granted. At the middle of the night, you wake up, you drink some water, use the bathroom, you flush. Someone is looking for that, flushing water to drink and wash their bodies. But we have them, and there's millions of people who really do not have that kind of water. So just having to see them, happy to have water that they can drink and use, that was kind of touching, and that kind of, drove it home that there are tons of people who are in trouble, and this is a government failure. So the response, so far, I've heard that the government has moved into the town trying to renovate the hospital and the school. But I haven't touched it yet because I'm still waiting for it to be concluded because it might be politics. Nigeria is a very predictable place. So that's what the experience was like, and this was the response that I've seen. Other than that, I haven't heard anything.
Right. I mean, it's great work that you've done and you've done for these kids. We unfortunately find that northern Nigeria is affected with high numbers when it comes to out-of-school children. And so the question is, what would we say these governors are doing? And it's not just in northern Nigeria, yes, but they're particularly affected. So let's talk about some of the challenges you see that lead to this in terms of the government's response, in terms of maybe societal norms that maybe have pushed back on education being accepted into northern Nigeria as much as it should be.
It's not just the governors. Sometimes, yeah, we really need to hold them accountable. But yesterday, my father sent me some videos, which I'm working on right now. Friday mosque all over northern Nigeria. In Kano, right now, I'm collecting videos, different Friday mosque. After the prayers, when you come out, do you know what you see? Hundreds of out-of-school children, very dirty. They look helpless, begging and begging in groups. I'm working on the video, and it's going to be out very soon. And what is heartbreaking is the people walking right past them. It's very casual. People just, wealthy people, able-bodied people, all kinds of people just walking past it like it's nothing. And that's what it has turned to, nothing. It's nothing. It's like, okay, this is part of reality. And it's not just embarrassing, it's disturbing to imagine the engineers that we could get from those kids, the doctors, the architects, the leaders, because there are so many brains there, and each brain has a gift. So it's not just the government, but us, the people also, we see that, and we just don't say much, we don't do much, we just like, all right, this is part of our reality now, we just have to live with it, while it's a living time bomb. So yesterday I was discussing this with my father, and it was just kind of heartbreaking to watch. I'm working on the video, and I'm going to release it very soon, hopefully, in the next few days.
Talking about your videos, let's pause for a moment and take a listen to one of your videos, and then we'll come back to you.
All right.
Fama da matsanancin yunwa. Likitocinmu na Najeriya na gobe da injiniyoyi da malamai akan naira 33,000 a wata suke rayuwa. Ina naira 77,000 din da aka yi masa alkawari. Yanzu watanni nawa kenan? Haka za a bar su? A daidai wannan lokaci da farashin buhun shinkafa ya fi abin da ake basu a wata. Kuma a wannan halin da ake ciki, 'yan siyasa daga gwamnoni har su wajen shugaban kasa suna kashe makudan kuɗi wajen sayan motoci manya-manya da tafiyoyi, suna tafiya yawon duniya suna kashe makudan kuɗaɗe. Kuma makama kan albashin da suke biyan kansu na miliyoyi a wata. Ina 'yan majalisa suke? Su a Fabio. Da yake wannan bai shafi 'ya'yansu ba, da yake wannan bai shafi abin da za su samu ba, ko bai shafi kujerarsu ba, shine suka shiru ko? In batun da tasha ne da yanzu duka su daga murya har an ɗauki mataki, amma samarin ƙasa ko in ce matasan ƙasa abin da za su rayu ma da shi an wannan tunda su sun samu kowa ya rasa. Idan ayyukan yi ne sun gwamnati su ɓata lokaci akan abubuwa marasa amfani da canzawa tituna sunaye da kuɗaɗen da su za su saka cikin aljihunansu, amma buƙatun matasan ƙasa shi wannan ba shine a gabansu, a daidai lokacin da sun toshe kunnuwansu sun ki sauraron kiraye-kiraye
Now, Bello, there's a fine line between satire and advocacy. You know, and defamation, I beg your pardon. Many people would be wondering, are you not scared of what you're doing, especially in an environment that has become increasingly intolerant of dissent? Have you ever had any threats made to you or pushback for what you're doing? It's quite brave of you to be able to call out societal ills in the manner you do.
Well, right now there is an internal war or struggle going on that not a lot of us know about. The millions of NYSC members who are starving. Literally, I've received more than 300 messages from them before I made that video, telling me, you know, they're kind of really horrifying stories. The ones who got ulcer just from starving, there are tons of them. The ones who, you know, they had to do unspeakable things just to get some money so that they could survive. So there are people who really do not have the talent or gift or opportunity or privilege that God has bestowed me with. And so for me, this is not something I shall just enjoy or just take and make money from. No, it's a responsibility. It's a responsibility that God has given me that I have to do something with it, even if it's going to risk, put my life in risk. I mean, what's just one person's life if a million can be liberated? If a million can have the food to eat, the good education to survive and raise their own families. So no, I'm not afraid. Definitely, if they want to shoot me or or use machete to shear me into two or three pieces, they should absolutely go for it. I've enjoyed a really good life, and this is just.
We hope that that never becomes. We certainly do not hope that that would ever be a reality. But yes. Let's now then talk about the NYSC that you've spoken about and the conversations. You've talked about the experiences that they've shared with you. Very recently, a young woman went viral because of the 30 days rant challenge in which she specifically called President Bola Ahmed Tinubu terrible. Let's get your thoughts on the response of Nigerians to that, as well as the response of the NYSC to that.
Well, unfortunately, Nigeria is practicing democracy. We call ourselves free, but there are so many cases of oppression. And this just reminds me of military regime. Many of the people of my age or younger than me do not really know what it's like to live, during the military regime and how it was very strict and how there was so much oppression. But yeah, people do have rights to come out and speak. And the fact that an NYSC member comes out to, talk of something that is not a lie, it's an obvious fact. And because she called the name of the president who was democratically elected to get a response that is very threatening and harsh, it's very, very, very anti-democratic. Not only that, but also we still have tons of people who really do not understand what is freedom of speech. And they think that her response really warrants punishment. Then that's the reason why we're doing what we're doing right now, to really educate them and to wash their brains, hopefully, so that they could see the light and they could understand that they are in prison and they don't even realize it. This is the way to freedom, and this is the light that we're trying to shine by the grace of God.
Now, Bello, some of your critics argue that your activism is selective, that it's almost like you have a personal vendetta against President Tinubu because it shows up a lot in your videos. Is it because he's the current president? And how would you respond to this criticism?
Well, he has all the power. He has the resources. He has the influence because he's the president. And if he fixes something today, it's people who are going to benefit directly. If today fuel prices go down, if food prices go down, if security goes up, it's the people who are the millions of people. So there's nothing personal here. It's just we are going straight to the source of power, straight to the person who can really make the decisions that could affect the lives of people. Why would we go to the opposition when they're on the side? They have not much to do. Going after them while we have limited time and resources and energy is just it's pointless. We go to the people who can really make an effort and who can really listen, hopefully, and do something about it directly. And that's the beauty of this.
Does
Recently,
your
like Kaduna, for example. Yes, sir.
Does your background in journalism influence, how does it contribute to your comic? I mean, your ex-BBC and Voice of America. Many people will be quite surprised that you're doing this now. How much has it contributed to your material and the way you deliver?
There are a lot. First of all, is the work ethic. It's not easy to every day wake up and say, okay, I'm going to find one issue and we're going to work on it and we're going to find, we want to educate people on it. And many folks usually get tired. It's not something that is easy. So it really takes a few years of just doing this every day for one to get very comfortable with doing it. Not only that, but also, information gathering methods. I've learned that from BBC and VOA, and I'm really lucky to be using some of that right now. And also, speaking, public speaking, the confidence to speak, and the ability to see things in a much deeper way, not on the surface, to understand, the psychology of politicians and also our people, and to be able to, bring the two different dots to make a line. I think that all comes from journalism, and I'm very lucky and grateful to, do that before.
All right, great. Well done on that. You've spoken about so many pressing and trending issues in Nigeria, from the state of emergency in Rivers State, the defection of Sanusi. We've seen, in fact, looking through your timeline, I can see you've talked about the NYSC. Yeah. You even made reference to Sheyi Tinubu. You've talked El Rufai's defection, I beg your pardon. So of all the conversations you've had to explore in the most recent times, I'm going to put you on the spot. What would you say have been the top 3 most annoying conversations that you've had to share?
The most annoying conversations is the one about Sheyi Tinubu, after I'm asking, the son of the president moving together with a convoy and with security, obviously state resources, with, sharing rice to people. Where is that money coming from? And having to see the response from many people in the north who were complaining that we are hungry, we are tired of irresponsible leaders. They are the ones coming back to attack me, saying, oh, he has all the money, why do you care? At least he's sharing something to people, and what are you doing? That was the most annoying. That was the most annoying, because that was the same strategy that was used to have President Tinubu elected. And now it's been used on them, and they don't see it because they have, a spoon of tasteless rice in their mouths. That was really, really annoying. I think that was the first one. The second one, the El Rufai one, was kind of annoying too, because they really think that, a new party, somebody defecting there, already that makes them the good guys. And they've forgotten what happened with Buhari. That's the issue here. They've forgotten what happened with Buhari. He kept moving from party to party, saying, I'm the champion of the people, I'm the champion of the poor, I'm gonna, make life better, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And then after 4 to 8 years, many people died, many people suffered, many people got poor, and nothing got better. And so I'm trying to create some kind of, it's okay for you to follow El Rufai, but at the same time, it's very important that you are cautious. So people, they don't want to do that, and they just want to follow blindly again. And I'm like, all right, we've seen something similar to this in the past, and we just want to make sure that right now, as a teacher, I got you covered. You have all the information you need, so in the future you can definitely reflect, and if it's time to regret or time to praise yourself. So I think I can just mention these two for now.
All right, I think those two will work, and thank you so much for sharing them with us. Thank you for your time, and kudos on the work that you do. We look forward to seeing your incoming video as well.
Absolutely.
Dr. Bello Galadanchi, have a wonderful rest of the day, and well done.
Thank you very
much. Thanks for talking to us. Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.